Hey YouTube, I was gonna wait till tomorrow to do this, but I'm bored, so I figured I'd do it today. Sorry for my appearance. This is gonna be my labor and delivery story. Um, so on the 11th, I went to the doctor, and he took my blood pressure, and it was still high, and he stripped my membranes. So, and this doctor stripped my membranes really well, and it was a guy, so his hands were big, and it did not feel good. So he stripped my membranes, and then he sent me to labor and delivery because he wanted to watch my blood pressure. So, right after he stripped my membranes, I started having contractions, but they weren't anything crazy. And I went to labor and delivery, and my blood pressure kind of stayed high, but it wasn't like enough for them to keep me again, and they wanted me to do another 24-hour urine. So I went home, and I was all pissed off because I was like, I'm done with this. This is crazy. And anyway, so I went home, and I continued to have contractions, like, through the night, pretty much. They kind of slowed down and went away eventually. So about 3:15-ish, yeah, on the 12th, I was sitting on the couch, and I felt this gush of water. So I stood up, and I was like, all right, well, that was definitely my water that broke because I had water going down my leg. And so I was like, all right, this is it. So I was really happy. Went upstairs and told my mom, and contractions weren't stronger yet at that point. So I just went upstairs and took a shower, and my mom got ready and stuff like that. We put everything in the car, and then we left. So leaving the hospital was about an hour away from me. So we got there, and by that time I was having consistent contractions 3 minutes apart, but still I was able to breathe through them. They got there, they answered all my questions, and I don't know what this was, but as I was sitting there, like, I felt like another pop feeling, like, and I felt it was like a jump in my stomach, and I don't know, like, if because there's pockets of water, I don't know if one of them broke, and that's when my contractions came on. Crazy! So right away, I wasn't even there for like 30 minutes. They gave me this one medicine through an IV, and it made me really tired, and about 10 minutes after that, they gave me my epidural, which was great, I thought. But my epidural, it numbed my stomach, but I felt a lot of cervix pain. Like, with every contraction, I was having a lot of pain in my cervix. So, I was kind of like, alright, it's better, but I'm still having to breathe through every single contraction. So, after about an hour, I was 3 centimeters. And then, I was still feeling pain. I was at like 4 to 5. And finally, I was like, okay, I need more of this. So they upped my dosage of the epidural, and they sat me up in the bed, so it kind of like would go down. But because there was so much, there was so much medicine, the epidural can make your blood pressure drop, and my blood pressure got extremely low, like 70/40 low. It was really, really low. So they kept taking my blood pressure. They turned off. By this time it was like 11. They started Pitocin at 11. I forgot to tell you guys that. They started Pitocin at 11. They took me off the epidural, had the Pitocin still going, and I was dying by that part. I was crying. I was sweating. I had a fever, too. I had a fever of like 101 this whole time. And I was in the worst pain ever. It was horrible. So I'm sweating, crying, screaming. Apparently I like scared the chick in the room next to me really bad. So I was in a lot of pain, and finally they gave me 2 shots of the stuff to make my blood pressure go up, and then they put a smaller blood pressure cuff on me, and they realized that my blood pressure was not as low as they thought. How wonderful. So I did that. Then I got my epidural redone, and honestly, the epidural, I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it getting done. I felt nothing. That sting that there supposedly is, I didn't feel it. But the second time I did feel cold going in my back, and the second one worked a hell of a lot better. There was still pressure, but it wasn't painful pressure. So, I slept for a while. I guess I slept longer than I thought I slept, but I slept, and by like 5 in the morning I was at a 7, and then by like 8 I was at 9. Yeah, by 8 I was at 9, and then the doctor was doing the D&C at another hospital, so I sat there and just labored down for 3 hours, and I was probably at 10, like an hour after I was at 9, but what they did was they just let me labor down, which I really, really recommend because it kind of just pushed, the baby was just pushing herself down by herself. So that was a lot less work for me, because by the time the doctor actually got there, I was +2 station, 10 centimeters, and ready to push. So at about 10 o'clock, I started, 10 o'clock I started pushing, and at 10:34, Maleah was born. I didn't have an episiotomy, or I didn't tear, so I'm good in that department, which is amazing that I didn't get any of that. I'm really, really lucky. But unfortunately, when she came out, I knew right away there was something wrong, because she didn't let out that big cry that babies are supposed to let out. So she was really sick, and they took her to the NICU right away. And her story will be up tomorrow, because she gets to come home tomorrow. And I will post some pictures at the end of this video to show you. Well, I might post. Yeah, I probably. No, never mind. You'll just see her tomorrow. She looks. The first video I posted, that was the first day she was born, so she looks a lot better now. And that's all. Thanks, guys.